What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Jackson. You know I love me a good Victory Monday. Powers here. And today I am here to talk about the Indianapolis Colts versus Houston Texans Week 2 game. And I'm just going to get this out of the way now. I know this season's not necessarily about winning, but it feels very good to win. This is our first win since the Raiders game last season, which was like week 10 or something like that. So I think it was like November of last year was the last time the Colts won a game. So it feels good to win one. Just see the team play well and, just it was good to see him win. It felt really good to see a win, and it may not have been pretty at points, but it was still a good win. So let's get right into the takeaways. The first thing I want to talk about is, of course, Anthony Richardson. He didn't play a whole lot because obviously he went out with a concussion. But while he was in there, he played very well. I mean, he was on pace to have a good game. He had 2 rushing touchdowns in like the first 10 minutes of the game, and then on the second rushing touchdown is when I think he got his concussion because it was kind of a late hit. I've been seeing a lot of people saying, like, he needs to protect himself better. He was looking like he was protecting himself a lot more in this game, but he wanted that touchdown really badly. And honestly, like, it was a late hit. If we're being honest, he was in the end zone when he got hit, and then he smacked his head on the ground. And I think that's when the concussion happened, because he was like 5 for 6 at that point, and then he only completed one more pass. He ended up being 6 for 10 to finish the game off, and then he went into concussion protocol because he went to the sideline, thought something wasn't right, so he took himself out of the game and got evaluated. So he was out for the game. And I really don't have anything else to say because obviously he was out for the game. But that brings me to my next takeaway, which is Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew played very well. He was 19 for 23. He had 171 yards and a touchdown. He took care of the ball. He did exactly what he needed to do. And no, he didn't really light up the scoreboard, but he managed the game very well. He led a couple of scoring drives, and overall, he just looked very comfortable, and he looked very good out there. He was very efficient, took what the defense gave him, and took care of the ball. And, yeah, when Richardson went out, I was concerned for him. I was concerned about his health, hoping that he was going to be okay. Found out it was a concussion, so hopefully that's not going to keep him out for too long. I said that earlier, but I was not too worried about the team when Minshew went into the game because Gardner Minshew proved in the preseason he's one of the better backup quarterbacks in the league. He honestly might be the best backup quarterback in the league because he went out there and ran that offense like it was nothing. Like, it was pretty cool to see. He had 2 touchdown drives at the end of the first half. He gave us a nice halftime cushion, and it was a cushion that we rode the entire way throughout the game. And it was just overall, it was very good to see Minshew out there. And I'm very comfortable that if Richardson is ever struggling or he just needs to go out of the game, that Minshew can come in and play very good in relief. So, yeah, I got to really highlight Minshew because he played very well. But I want to go into my next takeaway, which was the running game, specifically Zach Moss. Zach Moss being in there made a huge difference because Zach Moss, I think it was 18 carries for 88 yards and a touchdown. Far exceeded anything any of our running backs did last week. And Zach Moss is proving that he's a decent back because we just need a decent run game for this team to win. We proved that against the Texans. Like, if we would have had Zach Moss against Jacksonville, I really think we would have won that game. Because, like, Zach Moss looked very good against the Texans. He had, like I said, he had his touchdown. He just ran the ball very well. He was breaking tackles, finding the holes, and basically he looked very good. And I was very happy with what I saw out of Zach Moss. And, yeah, if he can keep playing, that's going to be a real difference maker, especially if Jonathan Taylor can come back. Him and Taylor in the backfield would be nice. But if not, it's good to know that our running game is in good hands with Zach Moss because Zach Moss, like I said, he's a very good running back. And he proved that against the Texans. And, the run game, when you have a run game, you're able to keep the offense on the field. You can mix things up. And I think that's another reason why Minshew played so well is that we ran the ball so well that we were able to open up the pass game, and having a run game like that's going to help Richardson in the future when he's playing. And yeah, I'm just very glad that we had a running back that had a lot of care. Like, they played really good. It was anything was better than 13 carries for 14 yards. Like, I was 18 carries for 88 yards. I'll take that any day of the week, because if you just have a decent run game, you give yourself a very good chance of winning, and that's what happened yesterday. So, with that being said, that's enough of the offense. I do want to talk about the defense a little bit. Defense, honestly, same thing as last week. Front seven, great. Secondary, not so much. But I chalk up the secondary being bad to it. I wouldn't even say they're bad. They're like average. Like, they're not great, but they're not terrible. Like, they can get stuff done. It's just they're a very young unit. Like, they need experience. That's their problem. They need a lot of experience to start having more success, because our most experienced corner is Kenny Moore, and he's a slot corner. We really don't have a true one right now, so we need a lot. We need those corners to get experience, so I'm glad they're getting it now. And the corners, they did okay, but like, it just sometimes, Nico Collins, he had a field day against us. He had a career game against us, and Tank Dell had a touchdown against us. Like, it's just it was just, the secondary is still an issue, but it's not that big of an issue as some Colts fans are making it out to be. It's just a very inexperienced unit, and that's a big reason to why they struggle. And another thing I want to say about the defense is they got way too complacent with a lead, because we went up 14-0 really early because we got a big turnover on C.J. Stroud after we opened up the game with the touchdown, and then Anthony Richardson got a second rushing touchdown. The defense went out there and just completely fell apart. C.J. Stroud diced up the defense and went and scored, and you just can't do that. Like, when you have the lead, you need to keep playing with that same aggression, and it looked like they got a little lazy there, but then they cleaned it up. Everything looked good, but then they got kind of lazy again in the fourth quarter, because we were up 31-10. They got a little complacent, which, it's whatever. It was the fourth quarter. They were just trying to get the game out, but the Texans put up 10 points, and they were in striking distance to make it a one-possession game late, and we just can't be doing that. Like, when you have a 21-point lead, you need to protect that, and we do. The offense probably should have also maybe ran some more clock out, but I don't know. I think the defense got a little complacent, but that happens sometimes. When you have a big lead, they really focus on just not giving up the big play, and that's basically what happened. I'm not going to take anything away from the Texans, though. I thought C.J. Stroud had a pretty good game. And in my opinion, I think C.J. Stroud is going to end up becoming what the Bears want Justin Fields to be, because Stroud is already a better passer than Fields, in my opinion. Stroud, in his second game, had a 300-yard passing game. Justin Fields has never had a 300-yard passing game. So I think C.J. Stroud could be the one good quarterback to come out of Ohio State. I think it's going to be very fun seeing him and Richardson go at it for years to come. But with that being said, that's all my takeaways for the game. I want to go ahead and name my MVP now, and it's kind of hard to pick because there wasn't anyone that really stood out, because it was like a good team win. So with that being said, I am going to give it to Gardner Minshew, because he came in relief and he played very well. He played a very clean game, very efficient, took care of the ball, didn't make stupid mistakes, led a couple of scoring drives that gave us a comfortable cushion and helped us win. So I am going to give it to Gardner Minshew because he just came in and played very well. But I am going to give an honorable mention to Zach Moss for having a nice day. He had 88 yards rushing, ended up having 107 total yards. So it's nice to have that back. So, yeah. Next week, we play the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. That's going to be a tough one against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. They're coming off of a big win against the Bengals. They're 2-0, so it's going to be a very interesting game. It always is when we go up to Baltimore, so I'm excited. I don't know if Richardson's going to be back or not, and if he's not, Minshew will get the start, obviously. So we'll see. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys liked it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And turn on the bell notifications and for everything in the description box. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.